Hi, everybody. Welcome to the later edition of My Other's Keeper. Sorry, I ended up having appointments in the city today that just ran late. So, and when you have to get home, take a breath. I'll let it all out. So, yeah, I feel better now. How you doing, Crystal?
That's good. Um, I should be awake, but I'm not.
Oh,
What do you
no.
have now?
Crystal's cat Patches is being a cat.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
being a little bit of a brat.
a brat cat. There's
How
Sam.
about it?
And we have Samara joining us tonight. This has been a long time since you've been here.
Yes.
Okay, I am going to close the door because I can hear you and then I hear you. So I'll be right back.
You didn't go in studio, Sam.
No. Just trying to log into this was enough of a challenge with this phone. It kept asking me if I wanted to go on YouTube or Facebook, and then it wouldn't log into either.
Well, in studio, you don't have to do anything but
No, she
sit
means
next
in
to
studio,
Kim.
like sitting beside me in studio. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah. Samara's in my dining room right now. So, how's everybody tonight?
I think I'm doing okay.
Don't all speak at once.
I'm
You
going
doing
to try
okay?
to eat while we're doing this.
Yes. Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I got all good news everywhere today.
Same here. Yep. Sam's staying at my place for the moment, like Crystal does. She has doctor's appointments, and there you go. Mine is just kind of convenient place to stay, going to the city. So, yeah. And both Sam and I had doctor's appointments today, and everybody's went fine. I don't know if you can see, but my pupils are ginormous. I don't know if you can see it or not. My pupils are ginormous because I had one of those pupil dilating eye exams from a specialist, and just was special. But everything, he's like, you have good, healthy young eyes. You're fine. See you in a year. Like, yay!
Yay!
So, yay!
I just phoned my optometrist this morning to rebook the appointment that they had booked for me for later
Oh,
this month because
oh,
I've already used all of my amount for this year
mm-hmm.
for eye exams, so I wanted it for into February. So we now have it in March.
Ah, okay.
We're booked
March is a
that
better
far ahead.
time for driving on the highway. So,
Oh,
yeah.
my eyes are actually here in town.
Ooh, okay then. Well, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I was with you at your Sam. I have you muted so that you don't have to worry about crinkling paper. So, hey, Alfonso, how you doing? I am having a blessed day. It's been a little busy, but at the same time, busy is sometimes the best thing. So this is good. So today, what we're going to talk about is lemonade. I was on a show a few weeks ago, and Sam, are you able to mic now? Or are you?
I'm going to crinkle a little bit more. I'll mute myself.
All right. A few weeks ago, I was on another somebody else's show, and it was just a group of us women having a lot of fun talking about some very difficult subjects, but at the same time, being able to talk about how we have grown and learned from those very, very difficult subjects. So, what were the letters to the eye chart? I would like to study them so I can go for my driver's license. They will be different letters because it's not a paper eye chart. They rotate on a different basis. So sorry,
It depends
Alfonso.
on your office.
Yes, they.
Would you like me to give you the charts for the doctor I used to go to?
Well, he's in the States, so
Oh, that won't help.
that won't help even a little.
No, but I
Yeah,
have
and
them
please don't cheat
memorized.
on your eye exam. Alfonso, for driving. The last thing I want is to see you on the road driving legally blind. That would scare me. I love you, man, but please don't. Anyway, yes, please. Anyways, so we were going to talk today about some of the difficult things that have happened in the past, how we've learned from them, grown from them. A subject that I would like to talk about perhaps next week is about the spiritual side of Halloween. Is it okay for Christians to celebrate Halloween? Is it something that we should avoid? Is it something that really even matters if we do or don't? I've been watching a very interesting man on YouTube, and he is the former head of the Satanist Church of South Africa. He was their head for 4 years, and he has some very interesting and eye-opening observations to look at. So I will be getting some clips and stuff like that going so that I can show you what I've been learning over the last few weeks. I've been looking at very light, interesting, fun topics like end times, hell, Halloween, and Satanism. Doesn't that just sound like, yeah,
Just some light reading.
just some light reading? That's right, little light reading. But yeah, those are the kind of things that have been keeping my brain going. So if I don't have much else to talk about on a Thursday evening, that's what we'll end up talking about. But tonight we've got some ladies, we've got some lemonade going on. So we're going to have the lemons, which is the difficult stuff. We're going to have the lemonade, which is the sweet stuff. And we'll see how we do. Was it last week we did the, or 2 weeks ago that we did the trivia? So 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Okay, so we did trivia a couple weeks ago. Crystal and I went through each of the decades, the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. And we talked about some very big memories. So between the two of us, we're going to talk about different memories from those periods of time because we don't want to bore you with the same old, same old. And we haven't heard yet from Sam. So this is going to be fun. Samara is such a gentle flower. What can I say? She's a wilting violet, that one. So should we do it again with the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or should we just choose one large event each? What do you think? Hold up one finger for one large event and hold up 4 fingers for the 4 decades. What do you think?
Doesn't matter. My brain is pretty mush.
Okay, I'm with Sam. I think we should do 4. Something that way we don't have to try to decide on the biggest big thing in our lives, right? We could say, okay, in the 80s, this was really big. In the 90s, this, in so on and so forth. So, yeah. So I will let Crystal start with the 80s.
Oh boy.
You know, something big in the 80s that we have not yet talked about. There isn't much that we have not yet talked about, but something we didn't talk about in the last few weeks. And what you have learned from it. What can you tell us?
Well, I guess a couple of things that kind of were big in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
What is a
Neon
good
clothing
thing?
and big hair.
I was 2 in 1980, so
Shut up. I mean, yes, you were.
and of course my mother would not let me do big hair even if I had have wanted to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No. In I think it was 82 or 83.
Mm-hmm.
We went down to the States.
Mm.
My mom and my brother had chiropractor appointments
Oh,
in why not
okay.
South Dakota? North
North
Dakota?
Dakota. Yep.
North Dakota. Because there was a world renowned chiropractor down there that could possibly help them better. And so we were down there for a
Ah,
couple of weeks. And while
okay.
we were down there, we stayed at the hotel that it was like the chiropractor center has the hotel and everything all
Ooh,
in the one building. It's a
okay.
huge building. While we were staying in the hotel, we ended up, Dad went back to the room
Mm-hmm.
before we did. We were in the
Right.
pool. And I guess as he got to the room, the the couple that were in the suite right across the hall from us
Mm-hmm.
stopped him and said, "Are you guys the ones with the Saskatchewan license plate?" He's like, "Yeah." Come to find out, they lived about 3/4 of an hour away from we did. So we went all the way down there just to meet our neighbors.
Exactly. Yeah, I've done that.
So like they were an older couple, and um he was pretty sick. I
Oh.
don't know if he had lost his leg already or if it was just getting to that point. But
Mm,
we ended up inviting them to go with us, and we went to Northwest Railroad Museum, and that trip we ended up going to not only that museum, but we went to Laura Ingalls Wilder's
oh,
home
yes. Yep.
and did
The
that
house in the big
tour.
woods. Yep.
Yep. Um, we did. We saw the little church, the little brown church in the Dell.
Okay.
It's an actual church.
Okay.
Um, we went to a place called Storybook Gardens,
Mm.
where all the nursery rhymes come to life.
Oh.
So in the morning, you see little Bo Peep walking around going, "Have you seen my sheep? Have you seen my sheep?" And then later on in the day, you see her with a couple of lambs.
That sounds
Um,
so cool.
Doesn't that
it
sound cool?
was the three little pigs. Literally, there was three pigs in the thing.
Yep.
Um, they had marionettes, and not just regular marionettes. They were the ones that when they flipped them a certain way, the marionette would actually flip over into a different
Right.
character.
Yep.
So that was
Yep.
kind of neat. Um, we also had seen, I think it was when we were looking for Laura Ingalls' place, we
Mm.
saw these signs talking about fantastic caverns. And we didn't know what that was, but we ended up following the signs because they were kind of on our way and went through these caverns. And now you actually get drip, or at least back then, that was how many years ago now?
Mm.
They,
Yeah.
they, yeah, they had almost like ATVs with a cart behind, and they would
Mm-hmm.
drive into the canyons deep down. And when they got to this one area where there was kind of a lake
Mm-hmm.
that you could see the water coming down and stuff, um, it's kind of neat. But at that point, they asked if anyone was afraid of the dark. And
Mm.
the reason they asked is they were about to take a picture, but in taking a picture, it would turn all the lights off in the cavern.
Oh.
And so it was pure darkness. And that is the scariest thing.
When you can't even see your hand in front of your face. I
Exactly.
mean,
And
yeah.
when they turned the lights back on, there was three little hands. My two brothers and mine. So yeah.
Yep.
But that was a fun trip because we got to see a bunch of stuff, and we got to to spend time with this grandma and grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
So
That sounds really nice. Yep. That's really
we did
cool.
a bunch of traveling back when I was little.
Yeah, so did we. Traveling was so much less expensive back then. Man, oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah,
Well, and you didn't have to have a passport or anything to go down to the States
right.
or anything.
Exactly.
And I know I was a lot younger, but um, we'd even gone to Maryland and some of the area there to visit family
Mm-hmm.
because some of my mom's relatives back lived there or live
Oh,
there.
yes. Yep.
So
So you're saying
that's
when it
my
was
fun one.
affordable,
And
like your whole budget wasn't gone when you went to the gas station at the beginning?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
few cents on the gallon.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, so Sam, are you able to talk yet? Or are you still getting finish eating?
If I could get the darn mute button, I'm good. I
Okay.
just have dessert left.
All right.
It can wait.
Okay. Do you want to put it in the freezer? Let it cool off for a minute?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
It'll just be more milkshakey at this point.
Yes, true. So
Yeah.
tell me a 1980s memory and what you learned from it.
I think for me, because I'm just a little bit older than Crystal, not a
Yeah.
lot, just a little.
No. Yep.
So for me, the 80s was kind of elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like her, I got to go because of my mom's job and my parents being separated. I got to go on summer holidays every year with my grandparents, which
Mm-hmm.
was really special because they kind of were more my parents than my parents actually were through my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to do a lot of cool traveling and stuff with them. But interspersed with that, part of I think why I got to do that with them is because it kind of counterbalanced stuff that I wasn't allowed to do because of my diabetes. Allowed to do. Like, I didn't get to go on a sleepover till probably grade 2 because my mom was worried I'd have a low blood sugar and like die during the night or
Fair.
something like that.
I can see that as a little kid and you not being able to take care of it yourself.
What finally won her to let me sleep over is one of my friends was having a birthday party and everybody was getting to sleep over. And the mom asked my mom if I could sleep over. And she's like, no, she can't because of her diabetes and stuff like that. And Debbie's mom just laughed and she goes, do you know what I do for a living? And she's like, no. She's like, I'm a pediatric nurse that deals with diabetics. Oh.
That's perfect.
My mom goes, well, then you know what to watch for and stuff. She goes, yeah. And she's like, we have very healthy stuff in our house that she can eat. We have lots of fruit. We don't eat sugary
Wonderful.
things in our house. And my mom's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sure.
That's awesome.
So that was actually, for me, it was a big deal that I finally got to sleep over at a friend's house. And then
Oh,
after
yeah.
that, my mom actually started kind of paying attention. And it turned out that 2 of my other friends' moms were nurses and dealt mostly
Nice.
with the kids. I was like, yeah, okay, you could probably stay at nurses' houses.
Yeah, we'll give you that.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of nice. I finally got to be more and after I was 6 and went to Camp Easter Seal for the first year, my mom was a lot easier about it too because I didn't part of the problem too with that first one is I didn't know how to do my own insulin.
Mm-hmm.
So we needed somebody that could give me a needle.
Mm-hmm.
So, when
And
you
what
got nurses,
grade
that's
2 and wouldn't get icked out and
yeah.
yeah.
So, and I mean, once I went to Camp Easter Seal, that's one of the first things they teach you there is how to do your own needle.
Yeah.
So once I went to camp the first year, my mom felt a lot more better about it. And it's so funny because it was still grandma and grandpa that were fighting for me for that. They're like, she knows how to do her needle. The
Mm-hmm.
parents of where she's going is a nurse. Like, she couldn't be safer. She's got less here than she has at their house.
Exactly.
My mom was like, yeah, I guess when you look at it that way, it's a good point.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yep.
so that was kind of a big deal. And just my grandparent is mostly my grandparents, but I was brought up, a lot of kids at that time were brought up, oh, well, you have this allergy, so, nobody around you can have that.
That's right.
Whereas I was brought up, okay, you're a diabetic, you can't eat things with sugar in them. But
And
that
you
doesn't
take care
mean
of
nobody
yourself.
else can. That just
Yeah.
means you can't.
Yep.
So,
The
I mean, like,
snowflake beside you, we're not going to
Yeah.
worry about.
yeah, it's like I could go to a birthday party and I knew which kinds of cake I could have. And if they had like frosting on them, I couldn't have that part of the cake
That's right.
and stuff like that. Like, I knew that, and I knew myself well enough because my grandparents and my mom and the diabetic educators and stuff had taught me well enough. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you eat it. I just can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
But I mean, when I started going to camp, there was a lot of kids that, because they couldn't have it, nobody else was allowed to have it around them. And I'm like, you can't expect the whole world not to eat things with sugar in because you can't have it.
Right.
That's just not realistic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of like in this day and age, if I am triggered by something, you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not
that's
everybody's reality, right?
It's a little different though. Like,
Well, it depends on the situation, though.
yeah,
You know what
like
I'm saying?
things that can trigger people, I understand more. But like something you have to physically eat, well, just don't eat it. But that doesn't mean nobody
Right.
else can.
Right. But
Like,
if,
it's
say,
not like
for
a
example, talking about, I was never allowed to wear a dress because my mom was upset every time I wore a dress. And suddenly somebody else is like, that is just insulting. I am just so offended. And, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like legit.
Yeah. Well, and like I'm not
abuse
talking
and-
about a peanut allergy, that I have a peanut allergy and you having peanuts could kill me. It's ingesting sugar could make me sick. It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So, I mean, in general, like, I thought my childhood was really happy. I thought, growing up, things were really great. It wasn't until I got older and started looking back that I was like, things weren't really great.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't realize how much was going on at times between my mom and my grandparents.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The tall people talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my mom was not doing great. And I mean, it's funny because now as an adult, like, I don't know if I told you this, Kim, the other day, that probably about, I don't know, a couple of years before mom died, we ran into somebody that she'd gone to upgrading with, which was when I was in grade 7.
Mm-hmm.
And we ran into them, it would have been probably about 9 years ago now at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And she invited us to come over for supper. And we went over for supper. And when my mom went to the bathroom, Debbie started laughing. And I was like, what's so funny? She's like, it's good to see things haven't changed. I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, you're still more mature than your mom.
Woo! That's harsh.
Ouch, but true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because my mom is kind of like a stubborn little kid where if you don't get my way, I'm going to sit here and pout and stomp my feet.
Yeah. Yeah. I know adults who are like that.
Yeah.
They are incredibly frustrating. I used to work with a couple.
Yeah.
They're incredibly frustrating to work with.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, well. And I can imagine they would be just as difficult to be in family with, right?
Well,
So.
especially when they're the person who's supposed to be teaching you how to live and be a person.
Yes. Emotional regulation, not your strong suit. So, yeah.
So, like I often say, as time goes on, I realize more and more every day how thankful I am that I have my grandparents to be there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wouldn't have made it without them.
Oh, that is
Plain
awesome.
and simple. I wouldn't have. Like, we lived in Alberta for 6 months. My mom couldn't afford to get me insulin.
Wow.
And she's like, well, I don't know what to do about that. And I'm like, should we not solve that before I'm moving with you there? I'm 6 years old. This should not be my problem.
No. No.
So,
Even at
like,
16, it shouldn't be your problem.
my grandparents talked to our family doctor, and he said, well, that's fine. We'll just write out the prescriptions for her that she doesn't have a doctor there, and we'll put it through the health system here, and you guys just take it out every time you go out.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
But that was my grandparents talking and working with my family doctor more than it was my mom doing anything. She was just like, oh, well,
She'll just die.
yeah, pretty much.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom was
Okay.
special. She tried. She tried. She just, I don't know,
Yeah.
wasn't equipped for it, I guess.
See, that's part of my own parental guilt right there is, I know that I have a serious mental illness. And I know that there are things that I did that scarred my children. But then again, every parent has these things that they do that scar their children, right? So the question
Mhm.
is, how badly are they scarred? Did you purposefully or even not purposefully abuse them?
Yeah.
Like, right? You might have been abusive toward them, but not trying to be,
And there is a difference.
There's a huge difference. Yes. And then there are people whose nature is simply an abusive nature, right?
Mhm.
We all know somebody like that, don't we, Crystal?
Yeah.
Hey, mom. Not my mom. No, my mom's amazing. Yeah. No, actually, that would have been my dad. So, yeah.
Mhm.
My dad and Crystal's mom were really good friends, ironically. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense,
They,
though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
they
does.
even knew each other as kids.
They did.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
That's kind of scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird.
And they wanted me and Crystal's oldest brother to get married so that they could be related.
Mm. Oh, yeah, that's a great
Is
reason.
that how that happened?
That's how it happened later after we broke up. Yeah. Anyway.
Families.
So, yeah, families.
Can't pick them.
Yeah.
The family you pick is always better than the family you were given.
Generally, yes.
Generally.
And I love the family that I've been able to pick. So
Mhm.
there and anyway, yes. So for me in the 1980s, I am closer. I'm the oldest of the three sisters here, and I'm just a couple of years older than Sam, and I'm about 6 years older than Crystal, and we're very actually we'd be right kind of sisters' ages if we were to do this. So anyway, but for me in the 80s, one of the big memories that I have that was not a bad memory for me, where my brain was the experience I was having within our family, it was a really good memory. It was 1986. We went from where we lived in a small French Canadian town in Alberta. We went down through, I think it was 9 states, 6 states or 9 states or something like that. And then we came back up, went to Disneyland, went to all of these other places. We went to Expo 86, the World Exposition when it was in Vancouver in 1986. And then we drove
close.
home. So like it was just, that was an amazing trip. That really, really was. That was our
teased.
family's.
We were half an hour from Expo and we weren't allowed to go.
Oh, no way.
My grandpa couldn't deal with crowds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. I was like, but it's like half an hour. And Grandma said, think about Grandpa and crowds. I'm like, It might as well be 45 hours away. You're right.
Yeah. Well, that's rough. I mean, when you have a legit fear, anxiety, a legit trigger, a legit
Yeah.
whatever,
Well, and
it's not like you're snowflaking
he'd
and you're
get
just
stuffed
going,
up and be like he couldn't breathe.
yeah, yeah. He had a panic attack.
Yeah.
That's what that would be.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we were just, yeah. If somebody's snowflaking, I don't have a lot of sympathy for that. But when somebody has a legit, mental health issue, I'm all over that. Right. So you got to
Mhm.
stand up for people who have those types of things going
Mhm.
on. But yeah, so for me, one of the big things in the 80s was that trip. Um, apparently, I had a boyfriend at every stop. Um, it was, I was 14. My sister would have been 17. She's 3 years older than me. Yeah, so 17. Um, was I 14? 86? Yeah, that's 14. Okay. I can't do math. So yeah, it was really just kind of a fun trip where we met so many people. This was one of my earliest memories of people from all over the place are different. People from all over the place really are the same,
Yeah.
right? And to see that sameness going a distance away, like Nevada, California, all of these places, the sameness that's
Yeah.
there, but then also the differences.
Yeah.
And why are we different, but we need to be okay with it, kind of thing. It was just looking back at it as an adult, I can pick it apart. I can undo the little um, tangles that would be that particular experience. And yeah, it was just, oh, okay, sorry. Sorry, we have somebody who will be joining us very, very shortly. Davina is going to be logging in. And that's wonderful. She just got home from a long trip. So I just feel very special that she's actually going to come. Makes me happy. So, oh, yeah. Okay.
I so much more prefer doing this on my laptop than my phone.
Yeah.
My
That's
screen of you guys is about like not even an inch.
because you have yourself an Android. Something with a reasonable size screen.
I couldn't afford to, and my phone died. I had to get what I could afford. And it's proved very helpful when Kirk keeps losing his phone.
Ah, I see. Okay,
Because then
fine.
I can look at my phone and go, your phone is out in the back 40.
Yes, exactly. That's very handy. I like
Yeah.
that. We use that Find My Family
Yeah.
idea we got it initially for when my husband goes hunting.
Yeah.
And so we got it for that. And then our girls were getting to the age where they would go to friends' places that were a ways away. And we just needed to know, okay, are you okay? Are you where you said you were going to be? Like those types of things.
Did you
And we
make it
still use
there?
it to this day. And Crystal is now on our family thing. So when she's on the highway, Crystal can just,
She's still moving and good.
that's right. Yes. She's not in a car accident. If she's half an hour late, look and make sure she's okay. She's never been half an hour late, but I mean, it's that kind of thing where if something were to
I'm
happen,
usually giving you updates of where I am.
yep.
Oh,
Are
I'm
your
here.
updates like mine? I'm passing the creepy bridge. I'm passing the lone tree. There's this one tree that's out in the middle of this giant open prairie, and there's one pine tree.
Cool.
And it's very bizarre. And I'm like, what is the scoop behind that? Apparently, it is actually like a memorial, and somebody's buried under the tree.
Oh,
And
wow.
the farm
Yeah.
kind of grew around it. So,
Yes. Oh
but
my.
it's very close to the creepy bridge.
Okay. Okay. So for
I
me, if
usually
Crystal,
there's a town about halfway between me and the city, and that's usually one of the stops. I always stop there, except
hmm
for on the way home. Well, I guess technically I do stop on the way home because I usually go through DQ drive-through and get a cone.
That's
But
important.
it is.
on the way into the city, I stop there to for a pee break, and
And
and so
fuel. Fuel for the body, fuel.
That's right.
no,
Ice
not
cream
always.
cone is fuel for the body.
Well, yeah, on the way home.
other way.
So I usually tell Kim, well, I made it this far, and if I'm going to be in the city for a while before I go out to
Yep.
her place, I got to the city. Okay, I'm just leaving the city. See you in a bit.
And that kind of check-in I think is very healthy. Like
Mhm.
it's somebody cares what I'm doing. Somebody
Like
cares where
yesterday.
I am, right?
Kim's
Yeah.
like, "Are you at my house?" I'm like, "No, I just turned onto the highway." "Oh, you're 20 minutes ahead of me. I'll be there shortly."
And she was about 20 minutes ahead of me. So these last couple of days have just been kind of go, go, go for me. So I will sleep tomorrow and I will sleep well, I think. Anyway, Crystal is also on our family schedule. Look, or view.
Yep.
Crystal's my girl.
Thanks.
Anyway,
That's
so,
awesome though.
yeah. Oh, it's so nice because, yeah, Crystal comes to the city frequently enough that she's at my place easily once a month. And, when we're trying to coordinate, if I'm going somewhere, she's going somewhere, it's just easier. It's just easier. So, anyway, but anyway,
Well,
if I were to
and
choose,
we have to coordinate because sometimes you're going with me, and
yes,
it's like, is this going to work for you?
exactly. Let's welcome to the stage Davina Lyons. Hello.
Hello, hello. Can you all
Hello.
hear me?
Oh, yes, perfectly. That's
And
right.
I am so sorry to be late.
Do you know what? You showed up. I'm happy.
Oh, you know, yeah, today was power packed. I started at my very first meeting at 7:40 a.m. and then I had to drive to Phoenix for a meeting. I have an NAU student teacher that I'm mentoring,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
had to go to an NAU meeting and drive all in Northern Arizona University. Anyway,
Yep.
bottom line is, it's been a day, and I knew this was, and I was like, I got stuck in traffic. It was bumper to bumper for quite a while, so it was over an hour just to get back to Maricopa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm here, and I've
Well,
missed all the
Samara's been
goodness.
eating supper. So, I mean, if you need to, have a beverage,
Oh no, I'm
eat
fine.
some supper, whatever you need to do, we're all
We
good.
don't judge.
We don't judge. We're
No,
kind of
no.
really a not judgy kind of group.
And we'd rather you ate supper than just passed out on camera.
Please don't do that.
No, I've already. This is it.
All right.
And the peanut butter cup is gone. I was doing that while we were talking.
There
I
we
am
go.
fine now. I am fine. I didn't want to make a late entrance, but I'm here.
That's okay. No, a late entrance is better than no entrance. So this is good. I appreciate you showing up.
What's
Thank
all the
you.
beauty that I have missed?
All the beauty that you have missed. We are going through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s and just picking a memory, what we remember, and what we learned from it.
Oh boy.
So I will continue. I was kind of halfway-ish through where I was going. So Crystal, Samara, and now I'm in the middle. So like I said, when I was 14, we went through several states, did a lot of traveling, and I don't have a lot to say as a lesson from that, except that it was probably the closest I felt to my family. The family that I grew up in, Davina, was not a happy family.
Right.
But at the same time, we had our moments,
Yeah.
and for me, this was one. it apparently was not the same way for my sister. But I was clueless. I knew nothing. So
Right.
ignorance really can be bliss. I was a
Yeah.
blissful child.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I got it.
So Davina, just so you know some history here,
Mhm.
right next to me is Crystal. She and I lived in the same itty bitty small town in Saskatchewan
Okay.
for only about 10 months. I was only there for 10 months. She lived there her whole life. I dated her oldest brother,
Okay.
and he abused both of us. So we share that. We reunited as friends only, what, 2 years ago, something like that?
3 years ago now.
8 years
Three.
ago. Anyway, yeah. So
It's hard to believe it's been
I
that
know.
long.
We just reconnected on Facebook randomly. One brother had me as a friend and had her as a friend. And I'm like, I'm going to just reach out because maybe she won't want to talk to me. Maybe she won't remember me. Maybe we ought to, all of these things that go through your head. And
The funny
we
thing
reached
is,
out.
I've been thinking about you shortly before you reached out.
There you go. So yeah, when we reached out, the first time we reached out, we didn't talk about much. But then a few months later, we ended up on the phone for like 5 hours. It was just incredible. It was incredible, and we've been sisters ever since. So
That's cool.
Yeah, very
She's
cool.
the sister I wished I had.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is awesome. Okay.
And then Samara and I know each other because we took sign language at the same church.
Okay.
So we both learned how to do sign language at the same time. And this would have been 26, 27 years ago, something like that.
Something like that. Your kids
Yeah.
were very little.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah. So that's how we know each other. And Davina and I know each other because we were on a podcast 2-3 weeks ago. So she is a new friend.
Yay.
And she's the one who came up with the concept of lemonade. You've got your lemons. Now I think it's brilliant. I love that idea.
I love it.
You've got your lemons. Now let's learn from it and let's make something good out of it. So yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about. So my 1980s lemon would be probably in the 80s, at the end of the 80s, I was dating a guy and he and I got engaged. He was not somebody who was proud to be with me. He treated me like an afterthought. He was dismissive of anything that I needed or wanted or whatever, because I was a kid. I was only 16 or 17 or whatever years old. And he was in his 20s. So he was like 5.5 years older than me. And he asked me to marry him before Christmas 1990 or 89. And as soon as I said yes, it got worse. Like once you know that you're in there, it gets worse. And so I dated him for a few more months. And then, as most of you know, I became best friends in 1990 with the guy who just arrived home, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Hi, honey. Became best friends with this guy. And he taught me how a person should be treated.
Nice.
I would not have been ready for a relationship with who ended up becoming my husband if I hadn't been treated the way I was. And the backbone that I had to grow. And there he goes. Hi, he's coming back this way. The backbone I had to grow as a young woman. The difficulties that my parents had when I was growing up. All of these terrible, terrible things that I experienced culminated into God giving me this amazing gift that happened to end up becoming my husband and this marriage that I've been fortunate enough to have. And so, yeah, that was my 80s, even though it's kind of like an 80s, 90s blend, Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
Davina, let's talk about you in the 80s.
Okay, so I was graduated from high school in 82.
Okay.
And had met my first husband in church when I was 16.
Uh-huh.
I was not allowed to get married until I turned 18 because my mother wasn't having it because he was from the wrong side of the tracks. He lived in the projects. And I
Mm,
didn't understand what she meant by that. I do now, but
yeah.
at the time I was thinking, oh, she's just being elitist and she's this and she's that. And so I didn't listen to her. So at 18, I had the wedding without my mother and or anybody on that side of the church that represented me. But I
Wow.
had started my first year in college, and all of my like we still were able to have a lot of people there because it was other students and friends. So it was like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but in 80, so I got married 82. I hope you don't hear the dog snort really loud because that's what just happened.
That's okay.
They're under my feet, of course. I didn't get a chance to lock them out of the room. So anyway, in 82,
Mm-hmm.
graduated. Okay, 1984, I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And Kim, you probably know the story. I don't know. 1984, I was pregnant and I lost my first baby.
Mm-hmm.
1986, I lost the second one.
Mm-hmm.
1988, I lost the third one.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 years later, the fourth one. 9 years later, the fifth one. All
Yeah.
of which, all except the very last one, I carried mid second trimester. I mean, second,
Yep.
did I say that
Trimester. Yep.
right? Second trimester. Um,
Between 4 and 6 months.
yes, 6 months usually. The last one or the fourth one lived. So the very first one, my girl, first daughter, lived for about an hour. The fourth one lived for 2 hours, who's also a girl. This is I
Mm-hmm.
tell this because girls are stronger than boys, and this proves it. Both my boys in the middle were stillborn. They didn't make it out of the canal.
Hmm.
And then the fifth one was first trimester.
Mm-hmm.
So my body thinks that I'm full term earlier than everyone else. They never
Mm-hmm.
figured out why.
Mm-hmm.
I went to specialists. I even had a doctor who was on 2020. I mean, he was like supposed to solve it for me.
Oh wow.
They did all kinds of injecting dyes into my uterus and looking to
Mm-hmm.
see if there's anything weird in the lining, and they did everything. But my water broke around the same time with every pregnancy except again the last one.
Yeah.
That put a strain. So my 80s was very painful, and my 90s I went into the end of the 80s, and here's the lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would say, first of all, I want to say that that husband decided he would like to be a father to his own child, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to adopt. And went back and forth with it. He agreed to go through everything to adopt, but he really didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And then he decided to have an affair with one of my coworkers on my job, which was humiliating and embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
And everything spiraled out of control and we were divorced. The fifth one years later was different, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
that first husband, there was a 9 year gap. And I tried
Mm.
again, thinking by some miracle my body would be okay. And I got
Yeah.
closer. My last girl and my first and my last. Well, the last one I don't know what it, like I said that was first trimester, but I mean the first and the fourth. Um, so the last two, now I'm confusing every listener. The first three were with that first husband. The last
Right.
two were within that 9 years later thing. So
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
said it wrong
Yep.
the first time. I apologize.
That's okay.
And so with all of that, I was so kind of messed up. But what happened was that in 1987, I had a relative, my first cousin had her baby, and she wasn't in a position to be a parent. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was blessed to become his mom.
Mhm.
And he just turned 28 not that long ago. But
Ooh,
last on the 22nd, he turned 28 in
nice.
September. And he has just been the biggest blessing. So my lemonade is just being Jordan's mom. Oh my God. And so the pain of loss, what I realized was that um, I was more capable of being his mom and
Mhm.
being a good mom because of all of the loss.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was just destined that I was to be his mom.
Mhm.
And my family embraced the notion. My cousin was not. She admittedly was not in a position to parent, and although it was rough at first, she was okay with it, and she never interfered. And we all very much so love each other. I
Good.
love my cousin still, but I can say that it was the journey taught me a lot about myself. It taught me a lot about the men in my life because my picker is broken. Kim, I told you my picker is broken, and I'm hoping it gets fixed before I die. But I'm just
Like
not
I said,
good.
you and I need to talk about how I helped Samara get a guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
My picker is just broken. For everybody listening in the world, just understand. I don't trust my picker. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of reasons why. I've done a lot of work over the
Yes.
years. I understand. Um, and I really, it was just, So anyway, my 80s and my 90s, my
Mhm.
90s got better. The lemonade came in the 90s.
Mhm.
And that's because I became a mom and I got out of that relationship, but then I got another one, but we're not going to talk about that today. That's a whole nother lemon and lemonade story. But I will say that if I had to point to probably the toughest time in my life, it was the 80s because of the
Mm.
loss and back to
For
back.
sure.
Yeah.
That would be heartbreaking,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially each time. I would think
Every
it'd feel
time.
worse.
Yeah. And I tell you something that happened when back to that first husband, the decision was that we would adopt. And like
Mm.
I said, he went through all of the classes and everything. And we've gotten to a point where we were working with an agency in New Mexico that actually there was a baby. And I was so excited. And I bought everything. The nursery was all done. And they have 72 hours right of rescission,
Right.
right? And the third day just happens to fall on Thanksgiving Day. And it was also when I had a house full of family and we were all celebrating. This is before my son Jordan was born, actually.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, this is way back before. So this was after the three with that first husband. And I was just so my son was born, by the way, in 90s, not the 80s. Anyway, um, it's been a very long day.
It's
Um,
okay.
and so I'm all set up, and I get a phone call from the agency saying that when I'm expecting that we were going to fly out to pick this baby up, it's it's all it. She was a young girl. She and her mother had kept the pregnancy a secret and was doing everything.
Mm.
The last minute, they decided to tell the father because they were afraid of
Mhm.
him that he was going to be really upset because she was a teenager and all
Mhm.
that. And he said, "You better bring my grandbaby home." So I had to be happy for this girl, but I
Yeah.
wasn't happy for me.
No.
And so I had a meltdown, ripped apart the nursery, took everything back to every store, gave back every gift. And that's when I had given up. And then 9 years later, I tried again, different partner. And once again, I experienced it back to back. And so now my son in 97 is born. If I said
Mhm.
87, I meant 97. My
Yeah.
son was born in 97. And in, you know,
Mhm.
98, I flew to North Carolina, picked him up, and brought him back. And so my that was the end of the 90s.
Mhm.
And of course, that was it. I became mom, and I really loved being a mom, you know.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crystal and I have both lost babies as well. Each of us has only ever lost one. Oh, did you lose one too? Okay, so we all get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said I can only imagine how hard each successive one would have felt.
You are a stronger woman than I to have continued. Man.
Yeah, you know, I didn't each time. So the narrative changes each time, which is interesting because you're living with fear once you find out you're pregnant. If you've had, so the very first time, newlywed and everything, but
Mhm.
then, you know, they tell you, oh, don't worry. You know, it happens to women. You'll have another one. Don't
Oh,
worry
I
about
hate when they
it.
do that. Sorry,
Yeah.
this is not a replacement child. Thank you.
Right, right. Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Well, actually, um, I got through that first one just, you know, because I thought, okay, you know, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
When it happened the second time, I had moved from Washington State to Arizona,
Mm.
and it was just like, this can't be happening, you know,
Again.
again. And the third time I was, you know, I'd been in Arizona a while, was, you know, just I threw the tissue box at the they sent the chaplain in, and I threw the tissue box and said, "Get out of my room. Don't talk to me
Mhm.
about God, and don't
Mhm.
talk to me about
Yep.
pray. You know, I don't want to hear it." Now, the next day, I called for him and I apologized after I calmed down.
But
But
yeah, you're
and it's
allowed to have that evil, awful time.
it's not his fault. I mean,
No.
he's doing his job.
Yeah.
But honestly, I was an angry bird.
Yeah.
And you remember what you smelled, what you were doing, what you were. I remember when my water broke each time
Mhm.
exactly what I was doing.
Same.
All that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's tough.
See, I couldn't tell you the date of when it happened to me, but I can tell you the moment
Hmm.
I found out and the moment it happened.
Hmm.
Like I can just, yeah, it's right there.
And it doesn't matter what time of the pregnancy. It doesn't
Nope.
matter if it's 1 week or if it's, you know, and understand that with me, they thought I had an incompetent cervix.
Mm.
So after the first one, I had to
Mhm.
submit to surgery the second, third, and fourth time. It's called a cerclage, where they sew your cervix together to
Yep.
help you hold the baby.
Yep.
So I'm going in at 12 weeks and having a surgery and then carrying and still living in fear and still losing. Now they've got to rip out the stitches to get the baby out. And now that's another process. So it was just because
There's
the abuse.
trauma on trauma on trauma.
But I was in
Wow.
a room with a woman in one of those pregnancies that had that happen to her 7 times. And she had 3 healthy children. So there was always hope.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was paired because you know they move you off the floor where healthy babies are. They put you on
Mhm.
another floor when you lose a child, and they put a rose on the door. The rose tells the nursing staff and everyone that's
Yeah.
what happened, and that's how they did it in this hospital that I was in.
Yeah. Yeah. Each
And
hospital has their own
yeah,
method of.
and they would stick us all together to, you know, like if it was a double occupancy room, we were together.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so that scared the Jesus out of me when she said she had 7 losses, and then the process, because your body's not ready to deliver. Just because the water breaks, your cervix doesn't open.
No.
I just want you guys to
No.
know that is another process. Yeah,
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that. Anyway, I got lots of lemonade in life too. It's okay.
Yeah, we're a very lemonade-y kind of. See, this is the yellow background. We're a very lemonade-y kind of group here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see, 1990s. I think Davina and I both covered the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Our big things. My big thing was my husband getting married, and in 99 having my first baby. She would have been a rainbow baby, technically speaking, but yeah, just so many years later, I didn't think of her that way, right? She was just my first baby. And so, yeah, the second one came like was conceived when my first one was only 5 months old. So, God said, here, have another one. So, yeah. Anyway, my girls are only 14 months apart. And they are both amazing adult women who have, these two know my girls really well.
I
And
know one of them.
sorry, Crystal knows one of them. Samara knows both of them to an extent.
One much better than the other. The one that
That's
lives
right.
here.
Yes, the one who lives here much better. Anyway, so the 90s, my big thing would have been becoming an adult, learning how to adult. And that was rough. I lived in I lived in this teeny weeny little town where Samara currently lives. And when I say teeny weeny, it's not that small. Anyway, small town, 1,000, 1,500 people. And
It's much
then,
bigger than that now.
is it bigger than that now?
There's
Awesome.
about 5,000.
Ooh, you're huge.
Oh,
Never mind. She's not from a small town. She's practically from a city.
well, it feels pretty small town after being from the city I'm from.
The city. Yeah. So anyway, I lived there for a little while and then moved to the city where I live close to now. Went to hair school. Was completely ill-equipped to be a grown-up. To live on my own and to have to pay bills and keep track of things and all of these things that you have to do to be a grown-up. I was not equipped for that at all. And so I was dating this really great guy and ended up marrying that really great guy, but it just ended up being the first few years, had we gotten married right away when we could have, I'm not sure we would have made it. No, I'm sure we would have made it. It just would have been really, 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 really rough. It just would have been terrible. So becoming an adult, learning how to adult, I'm very, very thankful that we are able to give our younger daughter a softer landing than what I would have had, because she is able to live at home, because the housing market is evil. It is terrible. So, yeah. So that's my big thing, was the difficulties of living in a small city after living in a large city, moving to a small city, very different demographic than what we have here. The city where I live close to, it's pretty evenly dispersed between the different races and nationalities and immigrant, non-immigrant, that kind of thing. The city that I moved to from, where I took hair school, very, very high indigenous population. So, or what you might call Native American, but indigenous population, very high in that. And so that's where growing up non-racist and learning how to be not even just non-racist, but anti-racist. I didn't let other people get away with crap when they were around me. Can you imagine me letting somebody be racist? Can you picture that? Exactly. Yeah, no, it's not happening. So yeah, it was a very interesting place to have to learn to grow and become an adult. So my lemonade for the having a hard time getting there is being there, and being able to settle into this wonderful marriage that I have and stuff like that. So yeah, my 90s actually were really, really good. My 1990s. I'm not 90 yet. Okay, Crystal, how about you for the 1990s?
Um, they were a really mixed bag.
Yes.
Um, I didn't know it at the time, but in 1990, I got pregnant, and lost the baby Christmas Eve. And I just figured out this year that that's when I lost her. I was in first trimester, and I prayed her gone.
Don't feel bad
She
about that,
was
please. Do not feel bad about that, my sweet.
she was a product of rape, and so I prayed her, please God, don't let me be pregnant, don't let me be pregnant. And I know I was almost 2 months late because I was clockwork, and it hurts now because I didn't know she was there. I miss her every day.
Yeah.
But 3 years later, 90, I would have gone into grade 7. When I was in grade 9, I finally had the courage to come forward and say what had happened. Started getting help. And in 96, I had the strength to charge 2 of my 3 abusers, one of which went to jail because of his actions. I became an auntie in the 90s. And when I found out I was an auntie, I actually phoned my counselor and I said, I don't want to be an auntie.
No.
And she said to me, she says, you can choose how much or how little you have contact with those kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have much contact with my first nephew, although I guess I can always go on to local type news and see him because he's an anchor. I do have a little bit more of a relationship with my first niece. I only have 2 nieces, and there's 7 nephews.
Wow.
I don't have much, well, I don't have any relationship with my oldest brother's 4 kids, all boys.
Mm-hmm.
My other brother is the one with 5. Um, there's been times I've reached out to my younger niece. I actually need to reach out to her and ask her when her wedding is because that's coming up. She got engaged.
Nice.
But yeah, I went to school after high school. I graduated in 96. Went to Bible school for a year and a half. Went out to Ontario for 3 months. Was kicked out of a 12-month minimal program after 3 months, but it was a good thing. I found out after I got home that it was a good thing. If you're going to get mad, then go away. In 97,
Mm-hmm.
no, 98, I started my first full-time, part-time, 2 part-time jobs that turned into 1 full-time job. Just literally days before my 20th birthday. Worked at a hotel in a small city. And then in 2000, I started with Walmart Canada and have been working with them ever since.
Mm-hmm.
So I found a family within my work family. But then I ended up moving in 2006 and lost that family.
We'll get to the 2000s really quick here.
Yeah.
Davina's going, ooh, 2000s. Sorry.
Am I allowed to skip over some years to catch
Oh,
up? You know I'm a
I,
lot older.
I skipped over 90% of the 90s. So yeah, feel free. Sam, what do you have for us?
My 90s were, well, I graduated from high school in 94, so that kind of puts where I was at in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I did a lot of activity things. Like I was part of a group through my church that's kind of like brownies, but it's more religion based.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my friends from that are still friends of mine now. But I did a lot of like drama and band and choir and stuff like that. And it was just what I did. And I loved doing it. And I spent a lot of time with friends and stuff. In 1994, I went to grad in June, and my dad was not doing very well at that time. He was going to dialysis, and he had always said he wasn't going to go to dialysis. So we were kind of like, okay, why are you going? He didn't tell me, but he told my mom the reason he was going was he had to make sure he had his will ironclad set up so his family wouldn't fight me and my mom for everything. Because my parents were actually divorced when I was 4. So he just wanted to make sure they couldn't fight anything. And he was like, I don't even want to leave them anything. And my mom's like, don't do that or they will fight.
Yep.
You know that. So he kind of left them all like token things. And I mean, like, my dad's best friend got told my dad had passed away with a phone call that went like this. Hi, Carrie, can you come over and check Glenn's truck and see if I can drive it back to Calgary? Oh, by the way, he died this morning. Yeah, so can you come do that? And my dad's friend goes, excuse me, what? He goes, can you come over and check Glenn's truck to see if I can drive it back to Calgary? Which is like, what, a 5-hour drive or whatever. And Carrie's like, no, the other part. Oh, yeah, Glenn died this morning. Oh, thank you
Talk
for
about
telling me my
burying the
best friend
lead,
died.
right?
Yeah, like they were all about what they were going to get.
Yeah.
And like I was writing a final exam from business college when my dad died in January, at the end of January. And I went, by the time I left downtown and drove to his house, which is maybe a 5-minute drive, they were already packing U-Hauls from his house. His body was still in the house. So, yeah, I didn't have a lot to do with my dad's side of the family. They never really, my dad was the only of the 4 kids, was the only one that didn't become a teacher. The joke being is he worked for our university and he worked for the technical college in town and made way more than they did. Because he was only an electrical engineer. And like,
Only an electrical engineer.
only, yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't a teacher. That's what he was supposed to do. And like, because he didn't finish university the way they wanted, they pulled all of his inheritance that his grandparents had left him and go to university. Because he didn't complete it the way his parents wanted him to do it. And like, anytime we went somewhere as grandkids with that side of the family, somebody'd say, oh, who are the kids in the back? And my grandma would say, well, that's Nancy's kids. That's Britt and Brady and Jen and Jill. Well, who's the other little girl? Oh, that's Glenn's kid. That's how I got introduced most of my life. That's Glenn's kid. Because my dad was looked down on, so I'm just his kid. I'm nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really hard. And meanwhile, my mom's side of the family, I mostly lived with my grandparents because of my mom's jobs that she had all the time. She worked a lot of like night jobs at hotels and radio stations and stuff like that. So, I mean, I grew up with them being more my parents. And it's funny because since both of my parents have died, My mom's side of the family is backed off, and I hardly ever talk to, if I talk to them once or twice a year, it's amazing. My dad's side of the family, my aunt phones me from BC and emails me all the time, and my aunt from PA phones and talks to me all the time. And like, I have an uncle who, I think he lives in the Bahamas now. I don't know. They're always somewhere else in the world. But he'll text me and email me and just ask how things are going and how I'm doing and stuff. And it's so weird because it's like my family's totally swapped in the last few years. But in 1994, my dad passed away at the end of January. So I was 19 years old and my dad passed away. And then in June, on Father's Day, my mom's dad passed away. And at the time, I felt worse about my grandpa dying than I did my dad, which made me feel horribly guilty. And I didn't realize it was because I had been closer to my grandparents growing up than I had to my own dad. That was hard. That was hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I did get the chance, like in the last probably year when he knew things were not going well, he made sure that I got to actually know him. And that was really special. Like I actually got to know my dad as an adult and as a person, and that was very cool. So that was pretty cool. It was probably about a year after it was probably only a few months after my dad died that I miscarried. I had tried going to university and got a please take a year off, don't come back letter. So I was going to business college. Did great at business college though. And it's funny because like when I talked to my dad about what was his favorite part of university, because nobody else I knew had gone to university, like parents wise, that I would talk to. So I asked my dad, and his answer was, we built this really cool toilet paper launcher on the engineering van. And I said, no, Dad, like, what was your favorite part of school, your classes and stuff? He goes,
That was.
yeah, we built this really cool toilet paper launcher on the engineering van. I'm like, never mind.
No, he's an engineer. I get it fully. My husband's
Yeah.
also an engineer, so I get that.
Yeah. And it's funny because at the time it annoyed me. I was like, that's not an answer I'm looking for. But I realized after, but that was my dad being who he is.
Yeah.
That is so my dad being who he is. I get it. Like, no, like it would have been wrong if he'd said, well, I liked this class. No, that wouldn't have been my dad. My dad had the most amazing, sarcastic, dry sense of humor ever. My mom came home one time from work and my dad was sitting on the couch watching TV. He had his feet up, was leaning back and was eating popcorn and watching this movie on TV. And my mom sits down and she's like, Glenn, they're not speaking English. Do you have any idea what's going on? He goes, oh yeah. And he goes on this 25-minute long explanation of what this whole movie was all about. Very intricate details on what this movie was all about. And my mom goes, you actually understand what they're talking? They were like talking in Spanish or something. And he goes, no, I literally turned the TV on as we were walking in the door. I had no clue what was going on. But my mom's like, he was so convincing that he knew what was going on in this movie. And it was such a detailed explanation.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. I definitely have a lot of my dad's sense of humor in me. But yeah, 90s had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. I got to the point where after I went to business college, and because I was in business college when my dad and my grandpa died, I got to the point where I was literally sitting at the wall, staring at the wall. And I was supposed to be in typing class, but I was just staring at the wall. And the owners of the business college knew my dad's family. And they said, you know what? You're not going to accomplish anything sitting here. They're like, you go do what you need to do to get through this. And if and when you want to come back, we will sort out what to do with your classes then. I'm like, yep, okay, I'm out of here. See ya. So then I went and worked for a few years, and then I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to go back to school, but I don't know what I want to do. So I went back to a different technical college and took just some computer classes and stuff, which I thought I'd be fine with, and ended up with like 3 diplomas and a certificate out of that. And then decided that's not going to get me anywhere. I'm going back to the business college. And basically, any of the classes that were the same, they said, what we'll do is you write your exam at the end of the course, and we'll let you keep whichever marks higher last time you came or this time. So it was really nice, and they were really good about working through everything with me and stuff. So that was good. And part of why I'd gone to the other school is I felt at that point like I'd gone to school to try a couple different things and just kept failing. And I needed to feel like I was successful at something. And I'm like, well, the first course is taking Word and Excel. I should be able to at least pass that. So when I got the confidence from going through that, yeah, I can actually go to school. I can do this. I'm fine. I went back to the business college, and I ended up not only passing all my classes, but getting an a diploma with honors. So that was pretty awesome. And it's funny because that was in like 2001, 2006. I don't know, that I finally finished that. I have now finally used some of the stuff from that other college this year. My partner said, wait, didn't you take web design in something you did at school? Maybe. Cool. You're now in charge of the website. Okay. He goes, well, it can't be worse than whoever was last taking care of it. It's telling you about booking in the upcoming 2022 season. I'm like, yeah, good point. So, yeah. But there was good things and bad things in the 90s. Like, my health wasn't doing so bad. My diabetes was doing okay. But then it was a hit to lose my dad, who was 44, because of complications of diabetes. And to know at that point that I'd been diagnosed at 3.5, he'd been diagnosed at 10.5, and he only made it to 44. And I remember going to a counselor, and the counselor saying, where do you two expect to be in 5 years? Because I was there with my current boyfriend at the time. And he goes, well, I expect to be here, here, and here, and here. And when it was my turn, the counselor looked at me and she said, well, what do you think? I said, I just hope I'm alive in 5 years. And my boyfriend went, what? What kind of answer is that? And the counselor said, honest and fair. And I was like, yeah, right now, that is how I feel. I just hope I'm still alive. Making my life somehow. So yeah, 90s were hit and miss.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, it's been almost an hour and a half, so I'm not going to put everybody through another 2 decades. Or it'll feel like it's been another 2 decades. But Davina, Samara, Crystal, I invite you all back maybe in a month or so, and we can talk about the 2000s, 2010s, because it sounds like the 1980s and 90s for each of us. I mean, we're all, Davina, you're probably, we decided, the 3 of us, that we are right within that whole sister perfect age group.
Yes.
You'd be like our cousin. You're a little older, but still right there. So anyway, but yeah, so we've got cousin Davina coming back, and yeah, in a month.
At least you didn't say auntie.
No, well, yeah. Nah, you're too close.
I'm too close. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's all about how you act.
I had a cousin that graduated in 82.
See?
Yep.
Okay,
There
I'm
you go.
good.
Yep, we're all good.
Yeah, you guys were born what year?
72.
Okay, yeah.
76.
70s. Okay.
78.
Yeah.
oh, that was a good year. 8th grade. 78. I remember that. Yeah.
78,
So
I would have been in, I would have been 6 years old.
I started school, it's easy for me. Kindergarten was 1970. So every year it was easy for me to remember where, because 82, 12 years later, I graduated in 82. So
There
I
you
always
go.
love that. I can remember exactly what grade I was in each year.
That would make
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I'm happy to be your cousin.
Awesome. I like it.
Yeah.
We'll adopt you.
Thank you.
As long as you adopt me back, because it's kind of
Yeah,
awkward if you're in my family and I'm not in yours, and
I
it just
agree.
gets icky.
I agree. We're all cousins. We're just going to be, yes, I love
That's
it.
right. We're
That's
all
good.
related. Just ask Noah.
That,
Yeah.
okay, there you go. As long as it's not to the animals, I'm good. But,
We're talking Noah, not the ark.
oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Need to brush up on that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's cool. Nice meeting you, Crystal and Samara. It's great to meet you guys. I look forward to us coming together again, and hopefully we'll get you on our other iron sharpening iron platform. That'd be
I
nice
hope
too.
so.
I have
Yes.
the Coaches Corner coming up
Oh,
for
wow.
life coaches. I'll be hosting, and then also the Ladies Diary with, of course, Boss B. I was thinking Boss B was going to be on tonight. She wasn't able
Everybody
to.
who was on the Ladies' Diary was supposed to be on tonight. You showed
Oh.
up. So we got the best of y'all, is what I'm saying.
I'll go with that.
No, the other two ladies from the Ladies'
Yes,
Diaries are just phenomenal. But
yes,
life happens. And,
yeah, it
just
does.
it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Good thing is I have some great friends who are available at the drop of a hat.
That is
And
awesome.
I
yeah,
might also be sitting in her dining room.
I know.
maybe.
I know.
Yeah,
I
'cause my
got
husband's
on and the
walking behind
husband
you.
came home. I was like, he just went through that door, and then I heard him shut her door, and no, I got
We're
it.
really close here, Davina. What can I say?
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
But it's a pleasure. Thank you for being here when I jumped in, and
no problem.
yes, we'll do better
Thank you
next
for
time.
being open with us and vulnerable. I really appreciate that from all you ladies. I mean, this
Mhm.
is the honesty is not only refreshing, it is needed. And people, like I said, there won't be a lot of people in the chat, but somebody who needs it will see it. And they will see it
Yeah.
in the time that they need to see it. So
And if it's okay, I need to do a shameless plug for my
please do.
writing manuscript.
Yes.
Rising Resilience. Okay, so I am a full-time teacher. You guys know that. Maybe
Mhm.
know that. I don't know. But
I know that they don't.
Okay.
I guess
Eighth
that's
grade.
We do
what you
now.
were doing today.
Would you say? Would you say, Samara?
I said, I guess that from what you said you were doing today.
Oh, that's
Mm,
true. See, she's
mhm.
observant. I love that.
Yeah,
So
I got smart friends.
see, so where was I going with that? Oh, so by me working full time, but I have because of the whole lemons to lemonade thing, because the feedback, just the quick backstory, ladies.
Mhm.
I wrote my story in an anthology years ago, and with 19 other women, and the feedback that I received from everyone was, man, that's a whole lot of lemons, but where's the lemonade? And it's
Mhm.
because I wrote so much about all of the horrible things that I experienced as a child and on and on. But I got to the end and I quickly said, well, life's good now, type thing. I mean, I didn't, but I did. So, with that feedback, it made me think about that if we are writing for ourselves, that's one thing. But when we're writing to help others, then we really need to just not give the ugly stuff, but we need to also share how we overcame what we went through. And that's where we're talking the lemonade. And
Mhm.
so, with that, I have developed the Write, RITE, Write to Rise planner to rise up out of your situation. You can write to heal, and it's a planner that helps people outline their memoir, their book. Or maybe you want to be a blogger, or maybe you
Hmm.
just want to write in general. It just helps you to be able to place all of the things that you've experienced, not just the pain and the trauma, but the
Mhm.
good side, and
Mhm.
and then openly or reflect aloud, so to speak, and help other people. So how you get that is on risingresilience.org
Put it
slash
in the private
Write
chat, and I'll put it
your
into our
story.
chat so
Thank
people can
you.
click on the
Thank you.
link.
Okay. Yeah, so that's my thing right now, is that I'm really promoting this because I'm hoping that that people write, and
Mhm.
that's just one way to
Mhm.
heal. And I'm typing and chewing gum at the same time doesn't work good for me.
I know.
So
Breathing and chewing gum.
But you're
It's tough
breathing
for
too.
me.
I am
breathing.
breathing too. So there's like all these things happening at the
No,
same
and blinking. I bet there's some blinking going on.
So then I'm going to sound like I'm
Precious.
just crazy because I'm just rambling. So
Honey,
let me
honey.
stop and type.
I had
So,
a friend recently that added in, and you're not peeing your pants, so you're doing
Right.
really good.
right.
Yeah,
Did I do that right?
you
With
did.
like
You
my
did.
link, I didn't misspell anything. Awesome.
There we
Yeah.
go. And it
So
is there. risingresilience.org. Write your story.
That
and
sounds awesome.
and you know what?
Perfect.
I just, even if I just love the fact that I just started a writing group in my town,
Mhm.
based on this notion. But it's through you. Do you guys have the Next Door? Do you do Next Door in Canada?
No.
It's a Next Door is like a nationwide social media thing, but it's really built on like just like the Ring camera. It's like a
Oh, no, we
neighborhood.
don't have that.
Yeah, so you can create groups in your town. You can do in-person groups. You can do online groups. It's all free. It's all part of the neighborhood.
Nice.
It's called Next Door. And so people across the country or anywhere they are, if they're in that app, then
Mhm.
they see it. But anyway, I started a little group and sharing where people can share poetry and share writing. And I'm more excited about that than anything. It's like,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that
anyway,
is so awesome.
I just added 10 more minutes to the time. Sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna hold it against you. We're taking it off your time next time.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
So it's fair.
That's okay.
Okay.
Take off how late I was too. How about I just
No,
do
then you'd
that?
have no time left.
There'd be nothing.
Davina's here, and now she's gone.
And now
All
she's
right.
gone.
Yeah,
You came right when you were supposed to, Davina.
exactly.
Thank you,
Actually, you were
Crystal.
perfectly.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you,
Yes.
guys. You're wonderful. Mwah. Thank you. I'm happy to
Mwah.
meet you guys.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for coming by. I love y'all. Leave a like, leave a link, leave a just something. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and what did you learn from our lemons and lemonade? Were you encouraged? I hope so. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right?
Some come with scars, some come with dreams. In this circle, we're more than what we seem. No judgment here, just voices to be heard. Through laughter, through the tears, we find every word. I'm my brother's keeper, I'm my sister's guide. Standing here together, with nothing left to hide. We lift each other up when the world feels torn apart. We're keepers of the flame, we're the healers of the heart.